This is Bobby C. out at MetLife Stadium, where we begin our look at sports this week with the 1-7 Giants. The rebuild has officially begun. They fall to Washington 20-13 on Sunday.
Where do we go from here? I stick with the way that I believe to do it, and that's to continue to improve. Take 1 week at a time, do everything you can to prepare for that week, and build, and keep building throughout the course of the season. We need to work on the run game, our protections across the board. I think that there's a vast number of areas that if we could just solidify a little bit better, would make a huge improvement.
I mean, defensively, we try to hold them as much as possible, but we didn't do a good enough job to hold them off from scoring, getting points, and get an opportunity to get our offense back the ball. By doing that, man, they outscored us, so we didn't do a pretty good job.
Do you think the team loses some of its morale when you trade away some players during the week?
I have no idea. Like I said, that's part of the business. Everybody's got to step up. It is what it is. Business is business, so I don't really know how to answer that. It doesn't make sense. I feel like we should be doing better. We're not, and this is where we're at. When we get down the red zone, we got to score.
It's adversity right now, and when we get this thing going and when we get this thing rolling, we're gonna look back at this and laugh and see how this made us tougher.
Story remained the same for the G-men on Sunday. They took until the final seconds to reach the end zone in a 2013 loss to the Redskins. This is now the 5th time in 8 games they failed to score 20 points. Pat Shurmur's first season as head coach is not going well. More lineup changes may have to be made immediately, and that could also mean at quarterback. Eli Manning, asked about the trade deadline and his no-trade clause, responded, open quote, "I want to stay here," close quote. He's been with the Giants since the 2004 NFL Draft. The Jets lost to the Bears 24-10. Sam Darnold completed 14 of 29 attempts for 153 yards. Like the Giants, they can't seem to score anymore. Gang Green is now 3-5 for the 3rd straight year. We shift gears from the gridiron to the baseball diamond, where the Boston Red Sox are your 2018 champions. They defeated the LA Dodgers 5-1 in Game 5 last night to take the Fall Classic. David Price hurled 7 innings, allowing only 1 run on 3 hits. The well-traveled Steve Pearce was named the series MVP. He blasted 2 homers in Game 5 and went 4 for 12 with 8 runs batted in. In the series, the first baseman has played for all of the teams in the American League East, including the Yankees, but he's found a home as Boston's newest hero. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. The LA Rams are a perfect 8-0 to start the NFL season. They edged Green Bay 29-27 on Sunday. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots will invade Buffalo tonight for Monday Night Football. Brady is 28-3 all-time against the Bills, racking up 15 victories in upstate New York. You can make a case that he's the greatest Buffalo quarterback of all time. Just kidding. Alec Martinez scored with 55 seconds remaining, and the Los Angeles Kings stopped a 6-game skid with a 4-3 win over the New York Rangers Sunday. The Islanders beat the Hurricanes 2-1. New Jersey will be in Tampa Bay tomorrow night. In NBA action, the Nets fell to the Warriors 120-114. Steph Curry set another NBA record by making 7 3-pointers and finished with 35 points. The Knicks host Brooklyn tonight at the Garden. That game tips at 7:30 p.m. In MLS action, the Red Bulls topped Orlando 1-0, while NYCFC bested Philadelphia 3-1 on Sunday. The New York Mets have agreed to a deal to make agent Brody Van Wagen their new general manager. The team confirmed he will be introduced Tuesday at Citi Field at 2:30 p.m. After his firing following an FBI probe at Louisville, Rick Pitino is planning to use the season to immerse himself in the NBA game and hopes to become a candidate for head coaching openings in the spring. All 3 defendants in the first college basketball corruption trial were found guilty of conspiracy to commit wire fraud last week. A jury found James Gatto guilty on all 3 of his counts. Gatto is a former Adidas employee. The outcome of the trial stands to have widespread impact on college athletics in the coming months and years, be it in the continued reform of NCAA bylaws or by way of punishments against coaches and or schools down the road. In Formula One, Lewis Hamilton claimed his 5th title. It took him an extra race than I expected, taking home the hardware in Mexico City over the weekend. Hamilton claimed his 5th championship almost exactly 10 years after winning his first in 2008. Hamilton's 4th place finish was enough to secure the world title. He is now within 2 of all-time great Michael Schumacher for the most ever. He is also within striking distance of Schumacher's record race win total of 91, with Hamilton currently sitting on 71 Grand Prix victories. Those are the headlines. We hit the C list for a note on World Series heroes. This year's Fall Classic had terrible ratings, and from the jump, it seemed like Boston was simply too much for the LA Dodgers. What pain it must be to go to the World Series back-to-back years and lose it, especially when the Dodgers had their chances in the series. But this C-list isn't for LA's woes, but rather for the improbable World Series heroes, the reason why people should have been tuned in to the World Series after all. Steve Pearce didn't play very long with the Yankees, but he's quickly become a Yankee killer, and as we mentioned earlier in the Sportscast, a new Red Sox hero. On Saturday, he launched a tying home run in the 8th inning, then added a 3-run double in the 9th that sent Boston to a 9-6 win in Game 4. Pearce, 35 years old now, got the Red Sox rolling in the clincher, connecting for another 2-run homer off future Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw in the 1st inning. He capped his October spree with a solo drive off Pedro Baez in the 8th. Pretty good production for someone acquired in midseason for a minor league infielder. He played 50 games after the trade. He became the first position player to win a World Series MVP while playing 50 or fewer games for the winning team in his career, according to Elias Sports Bureau. Pearce joined Babe Ruth and Ted Kluszewski as the only players 35 or older with multiple homer games in a World Series. Pretty good company there. Pearce was an instant hit with Boston, stroking a double against CC Sabathia at Yankee Stadium on the first pitch he saw after the deal. Later, he hit 3 home runs in a game against the Yankees at Fenway Park. A career .257 hitter in the majors, Pearce was solid in college, helping South Carolina reach the semifinals of the 2004 College World Series. Drafted by the Red Sox in the 10th round, he instead chose to stay in school and chase a title. He didn't win a College World Series, but the baseball gods, folks, rewarded him Sunday night, bringing him full circle with Boston, where he won the World Series. You gotta love baseball. I thought it was going to be Luke Voit that was going to be the guy this year to do this. I had the wrong, obscure first baseman after all. Congrats to Pearce and the Red Sox. They certainly deserve it. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.